I want to ask you, you're a very good communicator and you have won many competitions also in club or in area, any level. You have done very good, and professionally also you speak so good. I have watched your videos. I want to ask you a question. To become very good communicator, what three things would you like to suggest to people to improve on at first step?
Okay, so number one, first and foremost, is the organization of your speech. Okay, I would say make sure that it is planned perfect, okay, or as perfect as you can get it. So get as much feedback as you can to make your speech planned and perfect. I know there's some people who go and claim, oh, I'm just going to go in there and wing it. Do not wing a speech, especially if you're looking to get paid for it. That's the worst thing you can do. People are paying you to be a professional. Be a professional, plan that speech out in its entirety. So that's the first thing. The second thing is practice it like your favorite song. So chances are good you're gonna, you know your favorite song inside and out. You know how to like probably even dance to it and whatever.
Practice in washroom also.
Practice everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right? One of my favorite things to do is practice, because I'm a teacher, I'll practice in front of my class and get my students to try to interrupt my speech.
And in hiking also.
And in hiking, yeah, if you want to practice your speech in hiking, anytime, anywhere, you practice it to a point where when you're going to give your speech, it is not going to matter. The world could be falling apart around you, but you'll be able to nail that speech perfectly, right?
Yeah.
And then the third one is just be natural, okay? People can spot a fake from a mile away, so avoid like overacting and whatever else.
Yeah.
I know some people do that. That's all fine, they can do that, but I don't know. I'd say be natural, and that's why I say practice, practice. So really what you're doing is you're practicing to the point where it is going to just be a natural flow of things. And once you're natural, people will accept it, and away you go. So those three things again: organization, practice, practice, practice.
Practice and
be natural.
So they all are related, huh?
Yes.
And I support this message.
Wow, this is really wonderful. We learn this all skills in Toastmasters also, and then we can have great communication and leadership skills with us.
True.
Now I want to ask you one question. You are paid speaker. To become a paid speaker, how can we build our network?
Oh, so I mean, the number one thing to do is at first you're going to probably do gigs where you're not going to get paid, like MCs for weddings, that sort of thing.
So expose yourself, you mean?
Yeah, so just kind of get out there in the public eye, and chances are good you're going to get asked to kind of host things. And then, like I said, join Toastmasters, and if you really want to be a professional speaker, follow those three directions I gave you.
Yeah.
And yeah, lo and behold, I was actually asked to do a keynote address for Bow Valley College. So I did that. After I did that keynote address, it was then I got asked to do the TED Talk.
Wow.
So then I did the TED Talk. After I did the TED Talk, now that I have a TED Talk under my belt, when I applied to be a speaker at the Calgary Teachers Convention, all I did was give the URL. So now that's my business card, my calling card. So if people want to know if I have professional speaking experience, it's like, yeah, here you go. And then make sure you get testimonials from anytime you get one of those gigs. Get testimonials about how you did, and then build your website and promote yourself.
In your speech, I have seen one great quality, that is your commanding voice and your confidence. So how can we build this confidence?
Now, remember what I said about practice, practice, practice? Right there. That's your only answer. You're not going to be confident. No one's going to be confident on something that they're not sure of. But on things that people are absolutely sure of, they will have absolute confidence, and that's only going to come with practice.
Do you listen speeches also?
Yeah. Every so often, I'll fire up some inspirational speeches, or what do you call it? Just to watch a lot of YouTube vloggers and that sort of thing, just to kind of see how things go. And yeah.
And do you try to copy those speakers, or you bring your own natural, your own genuine quality outside?
Correct. Yeah. So if you're going to copy people, maybe copy their format, but do not copy their style, because otherwise you're just copying somebody else's style. You're not being natural. So maybe they have something in their formatting of their speech that you're like, oh, hey, that's a new way of introducing a topic, or that's kind of a clever way of promoting this idea. Great. So the format, I'd say, yeah, if you're going to copy people, feel free. But when it's copying somebody's style or their delivery, I'd say no. Absolutely not. Stay away from it. It's going to be so unnatural. Not worth it.
Wow. You're a great speaker. I really, no, we found many helpful points here. I have one more question to you.
Sure.
When we are speaking and we practice, what kind of practice do you suggest? Should we practice in front of mirror, or should we practice in front of people, or like we just close our eyes? And do you have any special technique to practice? Because
Hello.
You're 50%.
Oh,
Yeah,
not
probably.
only that, can you make it 80?
Catch the gondola. Yeah. Oh, we got some speed demons. All right. Okay, so your question again.
yeah, we go to Toastmasters once in a week. I think that's not enough, right? We need to practice. You told every time, like we sing song.
Okay,
So-
so just
so-
to give you an idea.
Yeah, can you give a particular idea, because we feel shy when we practice.
Okay, so
What
here's the thing. When I did my TED Talk,
Yeah.
okay, when I did my TED Talk, I knew it was going to be in the public eye. It's part of TED, right? I did not want to leave anything to chance. Okay, that's whatever, it's 16 minutes, the video. I wanted to make sure that every single minute of that 16 minutes was accounted for. Now, I went through about somewhere over 20 versions of the actual speech itself, 20 editions. I tracked it. I went through about 7 or 8 actual recordings of it. Oh, yeah. Not at all. I did about 7 or 8 recordings, and then when it came down to practice, it was anywhere, anyhow. Like, I'd practice it while I was house cleaning, practice it every lunch hour, practice it, like, just, it was practice, practice, practice. I would say we're talking, not a word of a lie, over the year and a half it took me to build up to that speech, probably minimum 1,000 times. Minimum.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Like, I was averaging maybe 7 to 10 times per day
Wow.
doing that speech.
So we need to keep on doing it, yeah?
Yeah.
It
And
is
it got to a point where when I was almost ready, I had about 4 or 5 honor roll students. So these are students who have a super eye for detail. And I gave them the exact copy of the script, and I told them to highlight the sections that I messed up on. And I got 4 or 5 copies back, absolutely blank, no highlighted.
Wow,
So-
that's wonderful. Thank you so much for giving tips and techniques to make a strong speech and to develop communication skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Madan.